Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. The good news is Jack didn't fall down and break his crown, and Jill didn't come tumbling after him either. The second part of that story is fake news. You know why? Because there's no such thing as a slippery slope. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? No slippery slopes out there. Well, listen, if you've been operating under the presupposition that we as a society aren't sliding down the banister towards hell so fast that our ass is on fire, turn on your TV once in a while and join the fun. The other day, the story broke that Allyn Walker, a queer, non-binary assistant professor at Old Dominion University, was making claims that people who are sexually attracted to minors, yeah, I said it, that's they call those minor attracted persons, or M.A.P.s, because we needed an acronym for them. Of course we did. He said they shouldn't be stigmatized in society just because of the way they feel. He stated that there's a difference between someone who acts on it and someone who just wants to, and that while we absolutely must condemn people who commit acts of pedophilia, we shouldn't condemn those who avoid doing it. Walker has written an entire book on the subject. If you want to read it, I recommend keeping an eye on your local school's curriculum book list. I'm sure it'll be there soon. Folks, let me start by just steel manning my opponent's argument. You know about steel manning, right? It's where you start a debate by looking at any and all good points your opponent makes. So here's the only one that I can find. There probably are a subset of people out there who are attracted to children and who never act on it. I'd imagine the number is very small, but yeah, okay, they're out there. And my question is, so what? Because here's the deal. In many cases, the slippery slope is all too real, and it's never more real than in the constant march on the part of the left to subvert the dominant paradigm. If you're tired of hearing me say that, strap in, because just like the left, I'm never going to stop. Whatever the normal state of things is, the left seeks to uproot it and move it to something else, and it's always, always, always something bad. Now, when they sneeringly parody our argument about this very subject, how do they do it and what do they say? They adopt the most southern-sounding accent they can muster, and they talk about how if we let this thing happen, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump away from pedophilia itself, and the next thing you know, people are going to be screwing dogs, as if that would somehow be worse than having sex with children. Listen, it's amazing how good the left is at confusing our priorities. And furthermore, if you don't think society can ever get so far that it normalizes sex with minors, please read a history book. Just one ought to do it. If it's a good one, it'll tell you the truth. This kind of thing happens all the time throughout history, and it's always a sign of the decadence and immorality that directly prefaces a societal fall. We're running around the boat trying to plug the holes and bail out water while the left is busy shooting holes in the deck, folks. We must not allow this kind of thing to be normalized. And I guarantee you, if this goes unchecked now, in 10 or 20 years, there will be, quote, science that proves kids can give consent to sex. Just watch. We've seen the left bend science to their will a million times already. Don't fall under the illusion that they can't do it again. Now, look, I'm all for compassion and for people getting help from in some cases, listen, it might be a mental disorder, but we cannot normalize the mental disorder. It seems so obvious from the outside. Listen, the other thing that you've got to do is create distance between your kids and these woke, ideological widget factories we call schools. Now, look, we may win the battle with schools, but the war is ongoing, and it's going to be long and difficult. Meanwhile, your kids are growing up before your eyes, and they're absorbing everything you tell them and everything their schools tell them. And if that doesn't shake you to your core, shake you into action, folks, it should. This is absolute insanity. It's nonsensical, but they're normalizing it. And they're pandering out there for people and their public consumption.